guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about how to trellis and how to not trellis your Hoya. So I'm going to show you two examples of two Hoyas that I have, and they're pretty good sized plants, and my husband has been caring for them, and he's done an amazing job. He's been caring for most of the collection with since I have a back injury. But like as far as watering and sometimes staking and trellising can go. So I don't always see when he trellises stuff, like when he usually does that when he waters. But we're going to talk about these two Hoyas, this Carnosa and then this skinerriana, D's big one. I want to show you some good things that he did with the trellising and also some mistakes that he made with the trellising, which I'm not complaining about, but it does make for a great video because it shows you what to do and what not to do. So especially on more mature plants. So if you are interested in that, then stay tuned for today's video. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk just a little bit about like what you need for trellising to start off. So we're going to start off with this Carnosa, Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen, and what you really need is some kind of a like a wooden trellis or something for the plant to climb up to. You could even put you could make like a wall trellis or get one from Menards or Home Depot or someplace that sells trellises, like a garden center. And then because these are vines, they want to grow continuously, so they can either grow up kind of like this is doing right here, or you can, for lack of a better word, train your Hoya to vine continuously, like continuously in a circle. And I want to show you ways to do that and ways not to do that. My biggest tip for you, for things that you'll need, I apologize. You'll need some kind of a clip. You can get these little like dragonfly clips on pretty much anywhere. Any major retailer will sell them. And then you'll need some kind of a trellis. So you can get these on Amazon. Same with the clips. That's all that's coming to mind right now. You can get them at garden centers as well. And the kind of trellis you use is totally up to you. But these bamboo, these are different shapes. And we've got two trellises in each pot because these are, pretty mature plants. I haven't propagated from either of these since September. So they've grown in really nicely. They may not be trellised very beautifully, but they have grown in pretty nicely. But let's get into what to avoid when trellising your Hoya. So this is the Skinerriana, Hoya Skinerriana, D's big one. And what my husband did, and again, this is not me blaming, I really wanted to show this because it's a great example for demonstration purposes, is he likes to bend the tendril. So this tendril is very tender, right? You can feel the new growth, and it's soft and fuzzy and it's pretty delicate. So what he did was, I think, tried to pretty tightly wrap this around, making it tight, and it wound up cracking it off so that the rest of from here forward, when he did attach to the clip, see how it breaks, and then you can see the leaves died off because he probably put it really tight like that and then attached a clip to it. So my solution for that is, what I do if I'm trellising something is I'm not gonna take it here and then try to bend it. I want this to remain as loose as possible. So what I would recommend, and yes, if you're wondering, like, have you gone over this with your husband? Yes, but I did address it with him in a nice way and told him, the way you're trellising it now, and this was my fault ultimately because I didn't really explain to him how to trellis a Hoya, is to do it in a very light way. So I take the clip, right, and you can see this tendrils growing upward, so I just take the clip and just lightly attach it in the way it's gonna go, and then I'll let it grow out a little bit more, and then I'll readjust it. So like I did that with this one. This is very loosely clipped on. If I take this off, you can see it's starting to stiffen up, and then I can move this around, maybe so that it keeps growing circular. I can move that around and clip it to another part of the trellis. So I untrellis this, and all I'm gonna do is wrap it very loosely and gently. I don't want to max it out to where I'm trying to stretch it to that bar, right? So I'm just gonna loosely take it and see what I can do with it so that it still has the opportunity to grow up, but I don't bend the tendril, or the vine. So if you can see that, this is the new one, and you can see it's very, very loose. Like this here is very loose. It's not me trying to bend it around the corner, right? If we follow this tendril, right, here we follow to there, you can see like this is very, very loose. This is very delicate and gentle, and I don't want to like try to force it around to make it grow, more circular. I can always detach the clip from this because this will still grow. I can always detach the clip and then move it a little bit and readjust it as the vine or the new tendrils grow. So if we come down, we can follow it all the way down there. So you can see, following up, how nice and loose that is. Now let's take a look at, so this is a good example that the plant, and he didn't kill the plant, like this was just a thing that happened. Nobody's fault. And you can actually see where the plant has tried to replicate, like continue to grow. So let's actually, not yet. Okay. Trying to find. Okay. So right here, this portion of the plant is the part that got cracked, so to speak. So we follow it here, right? And we follow it here. And then it had two shoots. So it had the shoot that I just staked. And then, let me bring you around. So it actually did a couple of things. It created one new shoot going that way, and then it created another new shoot going that way. But when we take a look at what happened with the part that my husband, tried to trellis, if we follow it, we're following it along to here, and then you can see it snaps, and then the rest of the vine, that particular vine, follow it around. It's basically what I'm trying to say is it's starting to dry out, and yeah, here's the tendril. It died. It even tried along the vine. It created these two leaves, and then those leaves, like I said, just dried out, and you can even see where the plant tried to produce another runner, and it's just like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. So it's probably what produced these other two shoots to come out. So in this case, I'll probably just leave this because, or I can try to retrellis it. You know what? Let's try to retrellis it and see how it goes, and then see if we can cut off that dead part of the plant, since it's not going to do anything anymore. Okay, so let's unstake it. And that's one thing that's nice about Hoyas, is that you can always restake them. The vines, you can always restake them. They can get a little bit overwhelming though. So if you let them grow too long. So I have a lot of these. I finally sold my first one of this Hoya skinerriana, these big one splash. I finally sold one of these, which is exciting because these haven't been very popular. That's why I haven't gone back and propagated this plant again. This is ignore the other plants in the background, but this you can see is really dried out. Oh, that's funny. I didn't even notice that. It's starting a new runner here. So that's funny. I'm gonna cut it because you can see that it's like kind of attached but kind of not. So I'm just gonna take my shears and just cut at the point where it's dead. We're just gonna retrellis what we have now. It was a good learning experience to see that the plant was still growing. So let's see. Let's detach this. Oh wow. And with these, this is another reason why trellising is important. You don't have to trellis this either, by the way. I should say that. I could clarify. You could just let this grow. Like, you could just let it grow and kind of ramble like this. But I like trellising these. It makes them a lot more manageable for me as a grower. But as somebody that might be buying a plant, a consumer, maybe you'd rather let this grow on its own. Maybe you'd rather let this grow on its own and let it hang in a basket. You could do that. That might be actually a better way to grow this plant. But if you do grow it up, you can stake it loosely around, and that'll support the plant's weight as it grows. So we just leave it nice and loose, but still supported. And then we've got this other vine here. Ooh, that's got a peduncle that's gonna flower for us. That's been exciting too. I've had some Hoyas that have flowered for me, and that's been very exciting. So just take it here nice and loose. Don't trellis at a node where you see the leaves coming in. Try to trellis below that. Let's put it here. And there you go. Nice and loose. We've got the dead part of the plant mostly gone. This is what's left right here, but we'll just kind of let that do its own thing. It might shoot out another vine from the node below this node, so it does have other potential growth points that it could do, or that it could develop. So yeah, so that's that one. And the Carnosa is interesting because it's a plant that was trellised properly. So he did, well, okay, before I speak, this, see right here how for some reason it makes like a 90-degree angle? You don't want that, right? You don't want to bend it to make it conform. You want to keep it, let's see. Yep, you want to keep it nice and loose. And my guess is what happened is when he trellised this, he brought it like right across and then probably cranked it up just to make it keep going, and then it cracks, and then it's like, it might still be in decent shape here. It's really hard to tell at this point. I mean, these are very, because that's all still intact, and these are very hardy plants, so the chances of, yeah, he didn't do much damage there at all. The chances of this surviving are much higher than like the skinerriana one that we saw die off. But this is a really good example of a place where he really did a great job, where there's just like one part and that's very salvageable. So just again, just keeping it loose and not trying to force that, like don't try to make it a 90-degree angle. And it's okay to clip it. Am I in frame? Yeah. It's okay to clip it, you know, just to like other parts of the trellis, and just keep it going up, and it'll grow more upwards. And then the next time we trellis, it'll be the next watering time in 2 weeks. It'll probably have grown, and then we can take maybe this off and re-trellis it a different way. But he really did a beautiful job with this Hoya with the, well, yeah, but even there it kept growing. So I keep saying like he did a wonderful job, and then I find another space like right here. Let's see if it'll focus. Yeah, right here you can see how it makes like that 90-degree angle, and you probably can't see very well, but there you go. But it has kind of a hard calloused area, whereas the rest of the vine is just soft and fuzzy. This kind of has the calloused area. But if we look in between this, let me refocus. Yeah, this kept growing. Let me turn it around. Let's find out what happened with it. What happened with our Hoya vine. So it kept growing, keeps opening up new leaves. Looks like he wrapped it around there. Wrapped it there. And see there, he did a nice job. It's nice and loose. It's nice and loose here. And then it's grown a little bit more, and it's still alive. So probably with this, I don't want to force it, so I'll just leave it for now. And then the next time we water, like I said, these will have grown a lot more, hopefully, and then we'll be able to re-trellis them. So that is Hoya Carnosa Crimson Queen that he did a really great job on. And then he did a really nice job on the skinerriana too. It's just in the nature of Hoyas that, you know, like you want to be careful. They vine and they're very hardy. So, but you just want to be careful if you are trellising it to leave a little bit of looseness in there. Don't force it. And then you can always re-trellis it the next time you take a look at it. Just don't force those hard angles on it, and you should be fine. But yeah, I mean, like you saw in that leaf where that one just tried to repropagate itself like several times. So, oops, sorry, I don't know why that keeps squeaking. Hoyas are very, very hardy vines. So if you want a plant that's like very hard to kill, get a thick-leaved cuticle Hoya, and you won't have to worry about watering it as often, which is nice because these can go longer because they have a thick waxy leaf. This is not a Hoya, but this is a philodendron, but you can see how thin this leaf is. Something like this is going to need a lot more watering than a Hoya like this with a kind of a thick waxy vine. But there are again, this is not a Hoya, but there are Hoyas like that have these kinds of leaves that are very thin and delicate and they require more water. So just, you know, something to keep in mind. Let me turn you guys back around. So that is how to trellis correctly and how trellising can sometimes go wrong. And if you have someone else trellising for you, make sure they know how to trellis to keep the vine loose and not try to bend it at such a strong angle, so that way it doesn't die off on you. So hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and comment the word bananas if you're still here at the end. Bye.